It is.
But you say we're not artists, we're craft artists.
Yes, but we are part of the great, our job, we are artists when we're out there building our instruments, you know. But as being part of this whole art, as being part of this industry of storytelling and doing our part, that whole thing is about going, this is what's going on, you know, in all its beauty and all its weirdness, and, you know. Anyway, therefore, if it's about life and creating true life so that people can see true life in its highest and lowest forms, anything that happens out there in real life must happen in here. Must. But anything that doesn't happen out there cannot happen in here. And things that do not happen out there are things like this. Hey, motherfucker, stay away from my son! I'm trying to get my light, see that? That does not happen out there. Or, you know, hey, why don't you just get the fuck, I'm finding my mark. You know? Or, this is good look for me when I do this shit, right? Yeah, you know, I think that the perk went down the, it's bullshit. And your animal goes, that's not what life is like. Which is why we pay millions of dollars to people like Denzel Washington, because you go, that's what life looks like. Yeah, that right there, that's what life is like. That's what it's about. It's about treating real life. So anytime you're doing something, I know it'd be smart if I sat. You don't think I know it'd be smart if I sat when the doctor's telling you the news. You find yourself sitting. In life, you find yourself. Like, I don't know where I am. All morning, I'm on my seat, I'm away from my seat, I'm walking around, I'm moving and stuff. If I was thinking about where I was standing, I would be intensely not interesting. Because I gotta make it about you guys. That's what acting's about. So the process is to get myself to this place where I can then simply, like you say, surrender or live through it, or be, or somebody said be, or behave accidentally. Pre-described, predisposed, pre-thought out, pre-constructed behavior is not behavior. It's artificial. It's trickery, and people do not respond to it. So what you need to do is you need to do all the process in order to get to this, which I know I keep saying, but actually I'm going to teach, and that's what I teach. Some of the most fun acting, and probably the most difficult, is to play a character who's trying not to be accidental and play very stiff. So to play a character who is actually in a place of attempting to give a speech by rote, it's interesting because it's actually 2 steps away, and so it's really hard to do. Yeah. Whereas actors who are simply trying to act by rote do it quite badly and then do it quite well.
The other thing, of course, that what you said calls up is, what about all the things that never happen out there that you have to act, like aliens landing, etc.
No, circumstances will hopefully often in the stories that we're being told through us don't happen out there, or happen extremely rarely, but our job is to create the true life of behaving through those things. So yes, me going, the aliens are coming, and trying to hide from the aliens is weird, because that's not like real life at all. But me going, Jesus, the bear's coming, run, is something I understand. I mean, we all understand really deeply in our deep genetic consciousness, you know? And so, whether they're aliens or you know...
Or you're Jewish and Nazis are invading.
Yeah, right. Or Kramer's bursting through the door. It's all the same thing, you know? It was all, I'm going to do it now, it was all written for you 412 years ago. 14 years ago? By Shakespeare. Who is Shakespeare? Not the most famous playwright ever. The most frustrated actor ever. He was a really frustrated actor, and that's why he became a writer. Because people acted badly, and writing was shit. And he was trying to humanize writing. He's actually an actor first. And so in Hamlet, arguably the most famous piece of work ever written in any language, he writes to you, like 400 years later. This is how you act. You all know it, right? Yeah, speak the speech. I pray it was, I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. If you mouth it, as some of our players do, at least the town crier spoke my lines. Nor do not saw the air too much with your hands thus, but use all gently. For in the very torrent tempest, and as I may say, whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Be not too tame neither, but let your own discretion be the tutor. Suit the action, which we're going to talk about in a second, to the word to the action, with a special observance. Do not overstep the modesty of nature. For anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end, both at first, when we were, and now, is to hold, as it were, a mirror up to nature, to show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time, his form and pressure. Now this overdone or come tardy of, though it make the unskillful laugh, cannot but make the judicious grieve, the censure of which one must, in your allowance, o'erweigh a whole theatre of others. Just do it. Suit your action to what we're doing, and then do the fucking job, and then let the audience be affected by you. Stop worrying about you being special, you know? Amazing, amazing that he should write that, and Shakespeare should be so intensely, intensely misinterpreted.